Hi, Cougars. Next, we're going to talk about the embouchure for clarinet saxophone, which is kind of similar. I think we can kind of use some of the same things. When we talk about embouchure, we're talking about the way we form our lips and our facial muscles in order to be able to produce a good quality sound on the instrument. What we're going to do first of all is grab out your mouthpiece. This is, of course, a clarinet one. Saxophones will be similar. And then saxophones, I want you to take your neck, which is the brass piece, that's kind of a L-shaped sort of. I want you to put your mouthpiece into your neck. Clarinet players, we have what's called a barrel. So we're going to take our mouthpiece and we're going to put it into the barrel, and we're just going to twist it in. Now, if you have a problem getting it on, then best thing you need to do is put a little cork grease here on the cork. And that will help make it go a little bit smoother, more than likely. But we're going to twist it on and push it all the way down. Then we're going to add what's called a ligature, which is this piece of metal. Most of you, when you buy an instrument, you'll probably get this metal ligature, a little tin, aluminum, or whatever it's made out of. These are kind of delicate, so be very careful. If you have a leather one, that's great. They won't break as easily. We wanted to take the ligature and slide it over the mouthpiece so that the screws are on the bottom and on the right. The part that you twist needs to be on the bottom and on the right, like this. Now, once you have that on, the next piece you need to add is what's called the reed. And the reed, without a reed, the instruments won't play clarinets or saxophones. Now, the reed, you'll see probably on the flat side, the word Rico. This you have a different brand. You might have a different brand name there. And then on the other side, you'll see a little hump, a little curved section. And then you'll see this really thin section. That's actually going to be towards the end we play. When you are getting your instrument assembled, in order to make the reed work properly, we're going to need to moisten the reed. So the whole time really I was talking, really what I normally would do is I'd have the reed in my mouth like this. I'd have the flat part of the reed, the thin flat part, not the part that says Rico, but the other end, I'd have in my mouth, laying on my tongue, and it will be actually absorbing water, which makes the reed a little bit softer and easier to vibrate, because that's what creates a sound. After you do that, we're going to take the flat part of the reed, the side that has Rico on it, or whatever name, and we're going to take that thick flat part and we're going to slide it underneath the ligature like this. Now remember, the reed is always the last thing to put on, so when you're assembling your instrument, don't put the reed on until you're completely done. You're going to slide it underneath the ligature, and you may need to slide the ligature up a little bit to just give it room to slide down. You want the reed to fall onto the mouthpiece all the way until it's just about even with the mouthpiece, the edge of the mouthpiece. Now you don't want it sticking out longer than the edge of the mouthpiece, because then that's going to produce problems with tone and control. So once you have that where you need it, slide the reed back down. The reed should be on the kind of curved portion of the reed. The ligature should be. Once you get it where you want it, tighten the ligature down. But we don't want to tighten it down excessively, because you can pop these screws. So just tighten it enough to hold it. Now we need to know how to form now the embouchure, the facial muscles. And you'll hear many times people describe putting or creating the clarinet embouchure. You hear them talk about a chapstick smile. So relax the facial muscles and then create a chapstick smile. So flatten your lips as if you're putting on chapstick, and you flatten your lips so that you have the most surface to put the chapstick on, don't you? So flatten those lips, flatten the chin, and grin. Those corners of your mouth should be very firm, right here. We're going to take now the portion of the mouthpiece that has the reed. That needs to go on our bottom lip, like this. Okay? Now, you don't want to completely roll the lip in excessively. Just think about that chapstick smile. If you have that chapstick smile, a little bit of that bottom lip naturally covers the bottom teeth, and that's as much rolling in as you need. Reed on the bottom lip, teeth on the top, and then seal your mouth around it. Corners firm, chin flat, corners firm. Now, once it's in your mouth, your tongue should rest about half of an inch on past the edge of the reed. Don't touch the edge of the reed. That can be uncomfortable. About half of an inch onto the reed. Now, in order to produce a sound on the clarinet or on the saxophone, you have to, of course, blow air through the instrument. There are wind instruments. Your tongue is going to act like a release valve, similar to like it was with the brass instruments. And the air is going to sit behind your tongue, and when you pull your tongue off of the reed, that's when the air will start, and that's where we'll get a sound. Two, two. And once that air is going, then the reed will start vibrating against the mouthpiece. This is a part you need to be careful of, though, right here. Our reed and our mouthpiece touch. Wherever they touch, that's actually where your bottom lip should be. A lot of people talk about taking a piece of paper and putting it down between the reed and between the mouthpiece, like this, and wherever it stops, that's where your bottom lip should be. And then you can, once you find that place, you can mark it with a pencil, and you'll know exactly where to put your bottom lip. So chin, grin, chapstick smile, lip on the bottom, teeth on the top, and then touching the reed with your tongue in the inside of your mouth. Pull the tongue away. Two. No poking the cheeks. Keep those corners firm. If those corners are firm, then you can't really get air into the cheeks or up here. And when you're producing a sound on the instrument, you want to keep a very steady, even tone, and that comes from a steady airstream that you're releasing with your tongue. So we don't want a lot of air up front and then it dies off at the end. We want to keep the sound very consistent. And same with brass. Don't stop the air with your tongue. Stop the air inside of your body. So think ah at the end. And you stop the air in your body. Don't use your tongue to stop the sound. That's clarinet embouchure and tone production. Practice that tonight, and we will see you in the morning.